Welcome back. I hope that you have enjoyed the past couple of tutorials that I have done. Today we are going to do this look right here, and this is kind of what I would consider a very natural looking bride. So I am going to start a series of bridal tutorials just because it's beginning to be wedding season. So I did kind of set my hair to the side. That's how I wore it for my wedding. Obviously I didn't have like these little stragglers right here. It was curled, and I had a lot more hair at that time, and it was a completely different color, but I did wear the earrings that I wore for my wedding. I threw on a white little tank top. I wasn't going to sit here in my gown. So I wanted to do this tutorial because I know how overwhelming it is for a bride to prepare for her wedding in general, but also to kind of worry what she's gonna look like the day of. I mean, it is one of the biggest days of your life. You're gonna have a million pictures taken that day. So I hope that this video kind of takes that stress off of you. Several of the makeup products that I use in this tutorial I did use for my own wedding day. So I was a very natural bride. I was kind of scared at that time to do anything too glam. I kind of wish now that I would have. I wish I would have stepped out of my box a little bit more than I did, but I would rather be safe than sorry. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial and we'll get started. So today I'm going to do an extremely natural bridal tutorial. This is kind of like your basic of the basic, nothing crazy. I have already put on my face just to save us some time. If you want to see how I did my makeup for, or I guess my base for today, you can watch the bronzed glow tutorial. I did kind of follow those steps just to kind of get that glow from within look. I haven't applied my blush yet, and I haven't applied my highlighter yet, just because I am going to do those different than I did on the last tutorial. I'm just going to go in and do my eyes. So for a lot of weddings that I do, I always use the Urban Decay Naked palette. This is kind of like my go-to just because it does have a lot of neutral colors. It has colors in it that go with a lot of skin tones. So I usually start off with this palette, and then I'll kind of branch out to different colored palettes or eyeshadow palettes, just to, you know, depending on what the bride or bridesmaid want. Alright, so we're really close, but I wanted to make sure that you got a really good view of how I do my eyeshadow for weddings. So I always start off with a really fluffy brush. Let me find one. As you can see, just because the fluffier the brush is, the less product it picks up. So you don't have, you're not going in with a ton of product. So shake it off. And then I always start with the lightest color from the brow bone and just work my way down. And I'm using Virgin in the Naked palette. And this is mainly just to set anything that I've put on my eyelids. I did already prime them, so I do have some foundation and concealer on them. So this is just to go in and set them. That way when I do go in with color, it doesn't grab. Okay. And then I'm going to take the same brush and dip it into Naked. Tap it off again. And you do want to start off with your lightest to darkest. So again, I'm just going right here in the crease and working my way over. And you want to start off with your lightest, that way you're building. You don't want to go straight in with a darker color and then try to fix it from there. You just want to start from lightest and go to darkest. Just kind of windshield wiper motions. Circles. Alright, so now, again with the same brush, I'm going to go into Buck, and that's just a little bit darker than Naked. And same thing, I'm going to go right here in my crease. except this time I'm not going to come as far over. I'm going to kind of go to the middle of my eye. See, so you can see how I'm kind of starting to build out here. Alright, so you can see the darkness right through here. Alright, so I am going to switch over to a more dense brush at this point, just because I am going in with an even darker color, so I'm going to want a little bit more of intensity, so you're going to want a thicker, denser brush for this. So I'm going to go in with the Sigma blending brush, and it is a little bit thicker and denser than the Morphe R40 that I just used. So I'm going to go in with Dark Horse, tap that off, and I am going to look down in my mirror just because I don't want it to get everywhere. So this I'm mainly focusing right here in this outer corner. Just kind of going over top of the buck that I just had down. I'm going to go in now with a Morphe R41 just to kind of get right in here where you can see that color isn't going all the way over. Just because even when you're looking down or something in your pictures, like if you're looking at your flowers or you get a profile view, you want that to blend. And again, we're just staying right out here on the corner. And I'm going in with that smaller brush again just to kind of get that area in the crease. And as you can see, I do have like a little bit of fallout right here. We'll fix that here in a little bit. We'll just take a little bit of foundation and pat right here and it'll blend right out, so that's no problem. Alright, and then this is kind of where I'm going to stay at this point, just because we are going for a more natural look, so I don't want to take us too bold if I went in with like creep that's almost a black, so I don't want to take us that dark. So at this point, I'm going to go back in with the Morphe R40, which is what I used for Virgin, Naked, and Buck, and just kind of blend out right here. And that would be Dallas. I'm sure that y'all have seen him in the background of some of my videos here lately, or heard him at least walking around or yawning like he just did. But he does not leave my side ever when I'm doing my makeup or when I'm in my beauty room, period. Every morning he's like right by my side, so you'll probably hear him a lot. Alright, so this is, I just took a little bit of my foundation that I had left over, and I'm just going to go in right here on the corner of my eye and take it up. So you can see it instantly took away that little blob that I had right here. So now I'm going to go in with a black eyeliner kohl, It doesn't really matter which one you use, just as long as it's really dark. And I'm gonna tightline. I'm not gonna do a winged eyeliner today or anything on the bold side. So I'm just gonna go in and kind of tightline. And you can see it just kind of makes that under eye a little bit more bold, kind of browns it out. Alright, so you can see I just kind of have, it just brings a little bit of dimension to the outer corner of my eyes. So I am going to go in kind of like I did on my bronze glow tutorial, and I'm probably going to start with Buck. And I'm just using a Morphe M508. It's this little brush right here, and I'm going to go right under here under my lower lash line. And if you watched my bronze glow tutorial, I kind of explained that I do this pretty much on all of my looks, just to kind of tie everything together. As you can see, like, this doesn't have any eyeshadow underneath of it, and this does. And I feel like this kind of, it just brings everything together, whereas this just looks like it has eyeshadow and skin. So I feel like putting eyeshadow right under here helps to kind of tie everything together. And you don't have to do anything too crazy under here. So I am going to go in with a little bit of the Dark Horse from probably the outer corner of my eye to like right underneath. There we go. All right. And then we will take, I'm going to go in with a clean Morphe E36. It's just kind of a smaller version of the brush I was using earlier. And I'm just going to go in and blend that. That way there's no harsh lines or any distinction between the eyeshadows. I don't know why this eye looks so dark over here, but it's really not when I look into the mirror. So that's weird. Maybe because I have a little bit more light over here on this side. I'll have to remember that next time. Okay, so I played with my lighting a little bit. It still makes this eye look funny over here. I don't know, weird, but it's not. When I look down, it looks the same. So if you do have more of an evening wedding, you can tightline the bottom lash line if you want to. So just to kind of add a little bit more of a dramatic touch to a natural eye, I am going to do that. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with the eyes at this point. I'll go in here in just a few minutes and throw on a little bit of mascara. But I did want to show you the blush that I'm going to use along with the highlight, just because it is totally different than, I guess, the blushes and highlighters that I've used in my past 2 or 3 videos at this point. Just because we are going for that more natural look. So I am going to go in with a lighter pink. So I'm going to go in with a mixture of Benefit Dandelion Blush and Benefit Sugar Bomb. So these came in, I want to say for the holidays, or maybe just, I want to say for the holidays, but maybe throughout the year, Benefit will release kind of like a blush, highlighter, bronzer palette. And it's usually like 5 to 6 colors in this palette, and I just popped mine out and put them in one of my Z palettes. So I'm just going to go in with my Morphe MB4. And I know it probably looks like when I'm smiling that I'm going right straight on with my cheeks. I'm actually not. I'm kind of going from the side and working my way to the front. And you can see it's just kind of giving me that very natural, kind of like a flush look, but nothing, not like an actual blush. So that's what I like about this. Any bride that I have that wants a super natural type makeup, this is usually what I do. No, I just a little bit up here, just kind of draw things together. And then this is the big thing. I don't usually use like a Becca highlighter or a Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. That type, those are the two main highlighters that I will use during wedding season. But when it comes to a bride that wants a really natural look, I go for the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I think this was one of the things that I was going to show in my Bronzed Glow video and ended up not, because like I said, I had so many items that I think I'm just going to do a separate tutorial on it. But this is what it looks like. And you can see you just have different shades in there, which I usually go in and mix them all together. Sorry, I have a hair somewhere ditching me. And use it that way, which you don't have to. You can use it one by one. As you could see when I was showing it, it just kind of has that glow, that luminosity. It doesn't necessarily have that like in your face highlight. So that's what I like about this. And you can see when I put it on, it's nothing intense, nothing crazy. Just kind of a very natural look. And I will pat a little bit right here on my brow bone. This was actually the highlighter that I used when I got married, just because as much as I love highlighter, I was going for that more natural look. I'm sorry you can't see it on camera, but I'm just tapping on the top of this. Alrighty, so let me throw on some mascara, and as always I'm just going to use my Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara. And with this, I didn't go in with any type of crazy lash. If you want to do something natural, you can use the Ardell Demi Wispies. Those are pretty natural. They're not too in-your-face type lashes. I mean, they definitely will, you know, bring some extra intensity to your eyes, but it's still a natural look. Or you can use the Ardell Accents, or even the individual lashes. That would be a good way to still accomplish a natural look for your wedding. And as far as my lips go, just because I am still going to keep it natural, I would either choose a gloss, which some of my brides have done, or I would do just like a light beigey pink. So I am going to mix pink champagne and beige champagne lip scents to kind of get just that natural pink tone. Alright, so I'm going in first with the pink champagne. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in again for this just so you can kind of see. And you can kind of see it's just kind of bringing a little bit of color to my lips, but nothing super intense. Not like a hot baby pink, not like a neon pink. Just a natural tone. So I'm just going to go in with one layer each of these. And then I'm going to go over it with my favorite sand gloss. Alright, so the reason that I went in with the sand gloss again is just because it didn't have any additional color to it. It's just like a neutral base, and I didn't want to add any extra color to my lips. I did want to kind of keep them natural, so that's why I did the pink champagne and the beige champagne. And as you can see, it just kind of gives that nice sheen. It doesn't necessarily change the color of my lips too much. That's why I just went in with a layer of each. A lot of times you use 3 layers, or when you're layering multiple colors, you'll do, you know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 layers. I've never really done that many, but I know when you are using multiple colors, you can use more than 3 layers. So I just kind of stuck to the basics with this. And as you can see, like right here, I kind of have this natural glow from the Virgin that I used, because it does have a little bit of luminosity to it. So it kind of opens up my eyes, brings that extra light, but I still look, you know, like a bride. I still look natural, not too different than my normal self, just a kind of glammed up version. And that's what you know, some brides want for their wedding day. They don't want to look like a completely different person. They just want to look like a better version of themselves. So that's why I started this series with the very natural looking bridal tutorial. So that way you could see what I did for my wedding, what I've done on other brides for their wedding day, and not get so overwhelmed with it. So I look forward to seeing y'all in the next tutorials that I do as far as my bridal series. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions or comments, or you have any of your favorite products that you used for your wedding, or products that you're looking for to use for your wedding, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much.